supposed to be like it was a spinning chair. I was going to do a spin and turn like that, you know, because I'm the professor and this is the sneaker resale guide. Anyways, but welcome to Sneaker Resale Guide. This is the guide that we're going to be going through, just kind of explaining, I guess, how really I got started reselling sneakers, what you could do if you wanted to go down this path too, because hey, it can make you some money, and if you like sneakers, well, that's a double win right there.
Win, win, win. No.
But anyways, I think the first thing that I'll just get out there, kind of just an opening statement for this series, selling or reselling sneakers is not for everyone. It is by far not easy. You may think it's easy. You may know people who have, bought one shoe and flipped it for $500 or $600 profit. That's not customary. A lot of the flips that I do, for example, is $20 here, $30 there, $10 here, $8 here. It just really varies, and it's never that one big score that people may advertise. It's a constant grind of just doing your research. It takes a lot of research. It takes a lot of work. But I recently had a friend reach out to me and say that he wanted to get started doing this. He just didn't know how to start. And my advice to him, my advice to everyone on the other side of the camera is start with one shoe. That's what everyone started with. That's how I got started. Every sneaker reseller you see, they started with one shoe. That's it. Soul Supremacy, big shop in California. They started one shoe at a time. So if you want to get into this, that would be my advice. But for episode 1 of this series, I don't have a plan for how many episodes it's going to be or exactly what we're going to cover. I'll kind of leave that up to you guys, I guess. Whatever topics you want to see covered, leave them down there in the comments and I will get to them at some point. So episode 1, we're going to focus on buying and selling platforms. So probably the biggest question that I get from people is, where do you get these shoes? And then where do you sell them? Who pays this insane amount of money for a pair of baby infant Easy Slides? So we'll go over, there's 3 main platforms, 3 main selling platforms. We'll talk about them first, then we'll get into the buying platforms, and that gets a lot more confusing and there are a lot more things we'll have to get into. So selling platform number 1 is StockX. Now if you guys have sold any shoes in the past, you know StockX. StockX is probably the original authenticating sneaker, and now it's even streetwear too. So basically how it works with StockX, you'll have an item. If you're selling on StockX, the item has to be brand new, has to be in the original box, and of course has to be authentic. You can't go selling fake stuff on StockX. Number 1, you're gonna get caught, and number 2, don't be that guy. So essentially what you do on StockX is you just go to any product that you have, you list it. For shoes, you'll have all different sizes that you can list, and essentially you'll place an ask. So you're asking this much for it. It'll show you a breakdown as far as the fees that they take and what your total payout would be down at the bottom. When you first load up StockX, this is your home screen right here. This just shows you the popular brands at the time, most popular shoes at the time that I'm recording are these shoes right here. So a couple Jordan 1s, Jordan 5, and then a couple Yeezys. Scroll down the page and it'll show you shoes that are recommended for you based on what you've been searching. It has the new lowest ask, new highest bids, and then the release calendar. This is pretty useful down here. Shows you what shoes are releasing that week or even that month. Searching for a shoe, very simple. You just type in the shoe name, pops right up. If you don't have the shoe name, if you're in an outlet or something and you just have the SKU number, you can search that right up there, for example, and it will bring up the same shoe. So if you're looking at a shoe, this shows the lowest ask right here. This shows the highest bid, for example. This is the last sale right here in the middle of the page. And then down at the bottom, it gives you just like a stock market for this shoe, as far as when the high price was, what the price fell to, what is it rising to at the moment, and where it's at. And then all the previous sales down here, the high for the year, and then the low as well, and also the release date, things like that. So if you look at your selling profile, so this is my selling profile, for example, and this is all the shoes that I have listed at the moment. So if it's green, that means that you have the lowest ask at the moment. And if that number is red, that means that someone has an ask lower than you. So you want to look at that. So these are all the shoes that I have listed right now. Pending, these are shoes that I've sold, or it would pop up if I had sold any shoes recently to StockX. And all those are the shoes that you send off, and then it'll say waiting for authentication. History, this will show all the shoes that I've sold and whatnot over, I don't know how long this is, but those are some of the shoes that I've sold. So let's look at one shoe specifically. So let's look at a shoe that I don't have the lowest ask on. So the Desert Sand Slide, size 8. So I have an ask right now of $200. That's not the lowest ask, but if someone were to buy that shoe at $200, these are the fees that would be taken out. So you have a transaction fee of 8.5%. When you first start out, I believe that's 9%. Mine's gone down a little bit just because I've sold so many items. Then you have a payment processing fee of 3%, and then shipping is free because they provide you with a label. So after that, if I were to sell the shoe for $200, the total payout would be $177. And then you have 3 days after that to ship out the shoe. So that is pretty much it as far as it goes for selling shoes. And then buyers will go on to StockX and they will essentially bid, but it's not a live bidding. It's not like eBay, for example, which we'll cover later. But this is just they go into the app, say you have a shoe listed for $100. Someone goes on, they like the shoe, they may place a bid of $60. You see that bid, and maybe you lower your price down to $90, then they'll raise their bid to $70, maybe you meet in the middle at $80 or $85, something like that. There you go, you made your first sale. It's that simple. Pros and cons of StockX. Pros, it is just like a stock market. You can see trends, they have graphs where you can follow shoes price, and you can kind of determine where it may go. If you know stocks, then it's just like stocks. You can check out trends and maybe predict when a shoe is going to rise in price or when it's going to fall. And if you know what you're doing, buy low, sell high, right? It's basic economics. But that's essentially StockX. It's good pro, con with StockX. They recently raised fees for buyers, so I'm not sure how many people are going to be buying on StockX anymore. I personally won't buy on StockX anymore just because of that added fee. And the way they announced it was pretty shady. They've done some shady stuff in the past, so I'm not going to buy on there. I will sell on there, but I'm not going to buy on there. So then we'll go to our second platform, which is GOAT. Now, key distinction where you need to know about GOAT versus StockX. On StockX, everything has to be brand new. Everything has to have the original box. On GOAT, does not. You could take an absolutely beat pair of shoes, no box, missing insoles, and you can list them for sale on GOAT. Now the key thing is you have to describe everything on there. You can't leave out any details, or GOAT will not accept your sale. For example, today I sold a pair of shoes on GOAT last week, sent them off and everything, and they tried to send me an email today saying that they were going to cancel the sale because the box was damaged, and I didn't list that, which is false. I did. So I screenshotted my listing, circled that I listed the box as damaged, and sent them a very polite email back explaining it and telling them that my order would not be canceled and they would pay me the full amount that I sold it for. And they did, so props to them. But GOAT is really good for just selling in general, because it doesn't have to be new, don't have to have the box, shoe can be damaged, cut, anything like that, and you can list it on there. Goat is essentially the same buying format as StockX. You go in there and place your ask, and then people just bid up to the amount. The difference with Goat is it has to be in multiples of 5 or 0. So if someone has an ask of $75, you can't go in there and ask 74 like people do on StockX. Who are you people? Stop it. It's annoying. Let's take a look at Goat as a selling platform, and we can even touch on it as a buying platform, but we'll probably do that more in the next episode. But selling on Goat, I like selling on Goat a lot more. I like doing anything on Goat a lot more than StockX, and I think I speak for most people on that one. So the homepage is very similar. This shows shoes that just dropped up here at the top. I like those. I really want these. Anyways, sorry. But this shows all the popular shoes, and they kind of have it broke up a different way. I really like their app a lot more than StockX. Seems a lot more modern. But anyways, searching for a shoe, very similar to the other one. You can go in here and type it in, where they also have recommended shoes right here. For me, for example, it's a lot of Jordan 1s, which makes sense. Selling. So selling is, if you want to list a shoe, you go up here, sell it, and you just type it in. Me, I have a high enough seller rating where if it's a brand new shoe, I don't have to take pictures. Everyone has to take pictures on used shoes. There's no way around that. But so after you sell a shoe, it'll pop up here saying that you need to ship it or drop it off. After you drop it off, you will get shoes listed right here in this category. So these are the 4 that I've dropped off recently. You can click on a shoe, for example, gives you the order number, the amount made, that's after fees, things like that, and it gives you your tracking number and all that. So we'll go back out of here, and then we'll go to listings. These are just all the shoes that I have listed right now. But if you want to look at a better breakdown, we'll go to owns, and these are shoes that I own that I have listed. So same shoe. Let's look at the slide, just like we did on StockX. So I have the lowest ask right now of $200. So it's telling me that I currently have the lowest ask. If I wanted to sell it right now, the highest bid is $140. So we look here, and 200 is my ask right here. So if I sell it at 200, I'll make $176. So like I was saying, it has to be multiples of 5. So you could slide it just like this. This is how you list shoes, and it also has recent sales down here. So just for example, if I wanted to match that offer of $140, scroll all the way to the left, and then you would just see it down there, and it shows me how much I would make, $121, which I'm not going to do that. But that is essentially selling on Goat. I should have mentioned this before with StockX, but StockX and Goat do the same thing. Whenever you sell a shoe, you ship it to them directly. You don't ship it to the buyer. You have no contact with the buyer. You have no idea the name of the person who bought your shoe, where they're at, or anything like that. So you ship the item to Goat or StockX, they authenticate it, then they ship it out to the buyer, and then you get your payout. In normal circumstances, you can get a payout in probably 5 to 7 days. Now, for example, Goat is taking 2.5 years to do payouts. I sold a shoe 3 weeks ago now, and I just got a notification today that it has made it to the warehouse. Look at that. So I'll probably have that payout in August. But traditionally, they're pretty good about doing payouts on time. So let's go and StockX. The third platform, like I did that. Third, back on track. The third, and one that you might be a little skeptical about, and I'll go into why you should be skeptical, but why it's a good one, eBay. Now, eBay has emerged as a good selling platform for sneakers. They're actually trying to make themselves a bigger player in that market because they realize that it's growing. So they're offering discounts and no selling fee. I think it's no selling fees on a sale of a sneaker above $200. That could be wrong. If that's wrong, someone correct me in the comments below and tell me what's actually going on there. But I think it's no fees over $200 or more. But I'm pretty sure everyone knows how to use eBay. It's pretty simple. Type in your shoe. You can set it for auction, buy now, any of that, and then someone will buy. No, sometimes people buy and don't pay, and then you have to cancel and relist. So that is one big con of eBay. StockX or GOAT, well, not necessarily even GOAT because people can cancel things on GOAT, but on StockX, if you buy a shoe, you're paying for it no matter what. But eBay is another good one. Their fees are a little bit better in my opinion than StockX or GOAT. Now, eBay's fees are not automatically calculated into the sale. StockX and GOAT, when you sell an item, your fees are taken out, they send you a payout, that's your money, no further questions. On eBay, sell items, and then I believe at the end of the month, they send you an invoice for what you owe and selling fees, which is annoying and that can creep up on you if you're not paying attention. But eBay is a good platform. They're doing things to make themselves more appealing to sneaker resellers, and so far it's really working. And I'm using them more and more, and a lot of the people I know are using eBay a lot more than they have in the past. But those are the three main selling platforms, and you need to understand these sites and understand what you're listing and where you need to list it at. That's the biggest thing. If you have a shoe, you need to know what platform to list it on, or platforms. Because if you limit yourself to listing it on only one platform, you're missing out. So you need to list your shoes on multiple platforms, but you also have to know fees and things like that, so it makes fiscal sense for you to actually sell an item. I think that's basically it. But anyways, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. We will see you on the next one. Bye.